Was Devon Larratt's giant pumpkin training a success or a failure? And should new arm wrestlers try that? We will discuss all of that in detail, but before that, let's discuss Leonidas Arcona versus RVJ. After defeating Schoolboy in an amazing super match at East vs West 12, Leonidas was asked by Coach Ray, or actually suggested by Coach Ray, that he should be facing RVJ next. Well, these two have been going back and forth in the past as well, almost a year ago. I think I cannot really say it was a back and forth because this match was suggested to both of these by Devon Larratt himself. And although Rob did respond to it a lot of times, we didn't really hear much from Leonidas Arcona's side. So that time, this match was supposed to happen on the left arm. And this time we have seen on East vs West 13 poster that Leonidas will be competing, but against who? We do not know for sure yet. RVJ is ready to step up, he's ready to fill in the blank there. But is this match going to be left or right? To be honest, I don't really care. I think it is going to be a close one, both left and right. And speaking of Leonidas, he's not only impressing everyone and gaining respect on the table, but he's gaining a lot of respect in the arm wrestling fans' hearts as well. You can see wherever he competes and in his after match speeches, people are praising him a lot about his humbleness, about how well spoken and respectful he really is. So once you are not only really famous, but the fans also love you, then you are in a really good spot and you're going to be having a really bright future. So Devon Larratt has officially stopped his giant pumpkin training. So what did he mean by giant pumpkin training, which he started after the 2019 WL Wagner Bortolato left arm match, so 5 years ago. Basically training only his right arm in the gym to make it as strong as possible by neglecting all other body parts to save some more time for the right arm. Well, Devon was concerned about this when he started. His concerns were imbalance injuries, back issues and overtraining issues. But this is what he said after this experiment ended. Very fascinating experiment, interesting results. Yes, my right hand did really get to a level that it's never gotten before. So clearly the gains are there, but everything was not really optimistic and as Devon planned. So he said that he lost some top end power but not so much. What he really lost was a ton of conditioning. Well, when he's talking about conditioning, I'm assuming he was talking about everything else but his right arm, because he used to say that his right never got tired, it's in the best shape that it has ever been. So maybe we can exclude right arm when we're talking about losing some conditioning. So Devon said that he lost some size and some strength as well in his left arm, which is a surprising fact because until now he kept on saying every single time that his left is also the best that it has ever been. And now Devon believes that his walk around weight is going to be around 105 kilos, which is once again surprising because until now his walk around was about 118 to 120 kilos. This is what he showed up for the matches as well. Maybe 115 because he must have been trying to bulk up for these matches, which only got him up to 120 kilos. So losing 10 kilos, is he going to maybe ease on some pancakes as well? That is for sure going to be better for the health because Devon is almost 50 years old, he's 49, and health is and it should be everyone's first priority. Ultimately, the goal would be to once again win a world title with my left. I don't know that I can do it really. I'm not even super optimistic because the level is crazy high and I just don't know if I can. So this makes total sense. But what didn't really make much sense to me was this advice from Devon.
If somebody told me, even a young person told me that they wanted to do this training for a year or 3, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool, go for it, you know, and you're probably going to get way better results on the one arm. I don't know how far you can push it.
So just for the sake of this conversation, I'm assuming when Devon said young arm wrestlers, he's also talking about inexperienced arm wrestlers, because let's be honest, most of the young arm wrestlers are going to be inexperienced, they are going to be beginners. And I don't think this giant pumpkin training will do any favor to a beginner arm wrestler, because Devon is someone who can generate over $100,000 with his right arm. Because judging by the way Devon was speaking about the results of this experiment, it didn't seem to me that Devon gained more than 3-4% of power than what he would have gained if he never did this experiment, if he would have just trained both of his arms like the past. But for Devon, 3-4% power can mean a lot. It can mean being the number 2 guy in the world or being the number 5 guy in the world. But for a beginner, a 3% gain in one arm while neglecting his entire other body is not going to matter a lot, and most of the beginners are going to be natural arm wrestlers as well. And for a natural arm wrestler, it would be impossible for him to train his right arm every single day, train on the table, train in the gym, and recover as fast as Devon can. So this advice, and I'm assuming if it was for the beginner arm wrestlers as well, then I don't think it is a really good advice to follow for any of the beginner arm wrestlers. Jerry Caderet wants Engin Terzi to postpone his East vs West 13 Vitaly Laletin super match, which is supposed to happen in Istanbul, to East vs West 14 in August in Orlando, Florida, so that this time he doesn't have to travel. Vitaly needs to come to him. And once things start getting going in USA for Engin Terzi for East vs West, I think more and more arm wrestlers from the Western side should demand these matches, these events to happen in USA. Clearly there is going to be more revenue. Well, I'm assuming the seats weren't completely filled the last time, but they are going to fill no matter how many seats there are if the event is in USA. So revenue wise, I don't think it will make too much of a difference because everything will be costly there as well. But it is going to be for sure a good thing for the Western arm wrestlers, because once again, why do they have to travel all the time and maybe take 1 or 2% out of their strength just by that jet lag, just by that travel alone? But here is a big problem. Engin Terzi did reply to that. He said that for Vitaly Laletin, for a Russian, it is going to be almost impossible to get a USA visa. And it is going to be nearly impossible for the Georgians as well. And there is a small chance that the Kazakh arm wrestlers will be getting the visa to go to USA. So that's a big problem. Without Georgia, without Kazakhstan, without Russia, is there even going to be a great event? I'm not really sure about that. Because as of now, it seems to me as if the Georgians literally run the title matches at East vs West. They are the most dominant force out there. But Jerry wants the Levan match as well if it is possible. Well, Levan also said that he needs to be careful, he needs to be fast against Jerry. If he gets stuck in a defensive position, that it may be some trouble. But as soon as Jerry mentions Levan, everyone starts making fun of him. And I'll say why not, because he lost his last super match, and that's the reason why he's being underestimated by almost everyone. The reason is that he did beat Gennady, who defeated Devon, but it was not a dominant victory. He got top rolled a couple of times by Gennady Quickvinia, who is not even a top roller. And the Georgi Svetkov match, he couldn't even get one pin over Georgi. All of the matches, yes, he did win, but all of the matches were on fouls, and Georgi also tore his pectoral muscle in that match. And the third match, he lost to Ermes Gasparini. So yes, although he is ranked very high at East vs West, his matches were not so dominant. Only one match was dominant, and that was the one which he lost. Ermes Gasparini uploaded his 95 kg back pressure PR. This lift is going to be becoming more and more important every single day in the arm wrestling community, because as one of the edits showed, that lift was the reason why Ermes was able to stop Levan Saginashvili, and no one else has been able to do that. Denis Siplenkov is the only one who came close to Ermes Gasparini's back pressure lift PR back in his prime days, not right now. So maybe prime Denis could have also stopped Levan Saginashvili. Who knows? Gasparini's goal is to hit 100 kilos on this lift, and I think he's going to be the first one in this world to do that. Maybe Levan Saginashvili decides to go crazy and decides to hit 100 kilos, but I doubt he'll be able to lift that much weight before Ermes does. Thanks for watching, like the video and subscribe.